hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Unmute me, unmute them. Hey everybody, it's me back from BC to MC the SC ridiculously, but luckily joining me is the bee's knees, it's Mr. Shiver Bathory. Again, I'm expected to come up with something to say about Jake Acapella. Although he's annoying and certified boring, he's really an excellent fella.
Certified.
From the deep, dark depths of space, singing out to the human race, the call that we know that we need, he's probably bringing us mead. He's here to inebriate, possibly deliberate. It's Paul and his magnificent steed. By the way, his steed is alcohol. I needed something that rhymed, and I gave you a steed of alcohol.
A steed of alcohol?
Yes.
Someone draw this. Someone draw Paul riding
a steed of alcohol!
Yes.
Into battle.
What's in my pocket?
I need this.
Oh, keys.
Oh.
I need this.
Hey,
I need
everyone.
this in my life.
Welcome to the Relay Station.
Hello.
Hello.
The station that's first in the nation.
Yes? Are we the #1 podcast in the world, David?
We are, when considering the temperate zone from which we broadcast and the the content matter, also the name. We are the #1 Star Citizen podcast named the Relay Station.
Yes.
I'm okay with this.
And also, welcome to Star Citizen Podsat.
Yes.
Yes. Podset has begun.
The only place, the only series of podcasts upon which you getting drunker is the goal. You start with light drinks. You start with mimosas, and you end up with like shots of vodka.
I start with Scottish ale and move on from there.
Yep.
So welcome to the Podsat. Hey, Mr. Pub, Mr. Paul.
Yeah,
why don't you tell us what's coming up later on the AstroPub for the Podsat?
Well, we're gonna have some foreigners coming on to the.
So it's an American show, I see.
It's a total American. So we have our every maybe once or twice a year for the captain's table. We have a couple of different regional specials. So we try to bring in people from the community who are from the UK or from Canada or from parts of Europe or Germany or wherever. And so we haven't done a British table yet this year, so we're doing a British table with Board Gamer, Super Mac Bros, Ryan, a little bit of Madness, and Miserable G right now. So which is pretty cool. And hopefully, maybe soon we'll get a Canadian table together, Eris.
I do request that.
Yeah.
Because that would be awesome.
You, Nakara, Nubifier, and Canadian Syrup.
It would almost be an entirely Relay table.
Yes, because I don't know anybody else who's Canadian. If you know a Canadian content creator for Star Citizen, let me know. I'll invite them to this Canadian table.
It's basically all of Relay is Canadian, so
Yeah.
You know how it is. Okay, let's. The question doc is up there. For those of you who don't know, we take the questions in the second half of this cast. For now, though, we're going to talk a little bit about the week in Star Citizen. There was an ATV this week.
Very short.
Yes.
Very short.
As there is always this week.
Yes. Very, very short this week. 16 minutes, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're not actually even going to the show and tell part of this show this week, because really, just go watch the episode. It has all of the pretties that you need, and you don't even have to skip anything. It's literally just 16 minutes of them showing off some holograms and stuff, which the tech behind it looks pretty good.
It actually looks honestly, it's one of those things that they haven't talked a lot about recently, and it's one of the few impressive parts. It's not just picture in picture. It's taking the idea of taking a footage and turning it into a render.
Yeah,
means that they could literally put render another picture on someone's freaking helmet if they wanted to.
The big thing that
or texture
that this enables. Well, I guess it's not a big thing, but it's a cool thing. The one of the things it does, and they showed them doing this in the episode, was you can have different lighting in the scene that's in the hologram rather than having to depend on the lighting from the scene that the hologram is in.
Yeah.
So so that way, like, you know how most of the time when you see a hologram in a video game, it's like very flat. It just kind of is like the basic geometry and thing. There's nothing really fancy about it. It just kind of looks like a 3D model. What render to texture allows them to do is have the lighting and like everything from the scene that the hologram is coming from in the hologram.
I'm kind of looking forward to, because this will be used for player-to-player communications eventually too, right? And I'm looking. Well, they've said that that's the goal, and I'm looking forward to like sitting there and watching someone on the comms, and then watching someone sneak up behind them in real time and shoot them, and seeing the shot and everything in real time cool. On your. I think that's cool. I think the tech is really, really good, and it looks really cool. Glad that they're doing it. I am slightly disappointed with the rest of the ATV. They cut out the studio update, even though in the beginning they said that the studio update wouldn't be cut out until the next week. Next week, they're turning the studio update into, what's it called? Burn Down, which they say it's going to allow us to...
real quick, before we totally move on from render to texture.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing new in video games.
No.
Video games do this.
It's just new in CryEngine.
Well,
I don't know. Is render?
I don't know if it's new in CryEngine either. But
picture-in-picture is a fairly new technology that's existed only the last 10 or so years, and like Arma 3 famously has had it in there. But I think this is different from picture-in-picture because it changes things up. It changes things up so that instead of projecting another picture, what you're projecting is just it works as a texture, so you can like place it on
it's for performance.
It's like, and just to like make it clear, it's not like oh, Star Citizen is making unprecedented technologies. Oh,
it's not
texture. It's not, but it's cool that Star Citizen has this.
Yes, it's good that it has.
And that's I think why they did the feature.
Yeah.
And it's not really necessarily for Star Citizen itself. Like I'm sure Star Citizen is going to use it.
They only showed Squadron 42,
but it's huge for Squadron 42 because it allows some really cool narrative things to be done.
It's all about the storytelling.
Listen. All I care about is, can I moon somebody on comms? Can I just take my pants down and just like rub it up against the camera when I'm dealing with somebody who's like, surrender now,
Well,
toilet calls on the Mobiglass are going to be a thing.
Well, on that kind of vein, thinking a long time ago, this is back shortly after the Kickstarter. I don't even remember when this is, like 3 years ago or something now. But they did say that they wanted to implement, like, a system where as you talk, your character talks too. I know I've seen that in other games now as well, where when you talk, your character talks. But having that in real-time comms, so like you're a pirate and you call the person you're about to destroy, and they can actually see you swearing bloody murder at them, and your character will animate that's kind of cool.
I requested that.
Yeah,
but it's a really cool addition. Yeah, it's it's holy immersion.
Yeah,
it's very fidelicious.
Fidelity. There's some fidelity. Yeah. So that was all nice. I liked that. Man, I don't know if I really liked the whole no more studio update, and I'm not sure if the burn down is going to be useful, to be honest. They're saying that we'll be able to be a fly on the wall for some production meetings, hear directly from the developers and QA testers about bugs and blockers and challenges and stuff, and that's good for the lead up to 3.0, I suppose. But there's still so many other questions that we need answered while we're waiting for 3.0. Like, I know 3.0 is a big deal. It's probably the biggest deal, but
What?
No more, Jake. No more studio
Sorry.
update. Replacing with Burn Down, and Burn Down is focused entirely on 3.0. That's great, but the stuff that we still don't know is
It's
stuff.
not great.
What we don't know is beyond 3.0.
Yeah, that's a
Listen.
good question.
Everybody, right now, open a new tab in your web browser. Go to relay.sc.
Yeah.
And right there on the front page, there is an article entitled "No One Asked You, Jake. Thoughts on delays in the internet."
Let me just say, Jake, you got on the front page.
Hey,
Hang on, hang on.
Good job.
Akarok subscribed, so
yeah, thank you, Akrok. It's got, oh Jesus.
yes.
But
Paul doing the wave.
In that article, I attempted to kind of look at the criticisms of the delays. Like on the one end, people are like, "Oh, Star Citizen is doomed and on fire." Like
Everything's on fire.
the game being delayed doesn't mean that everything's burning down. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the people who are like, "Oh, like just believe everything will be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's peachy. CIG are perfect. Everything is glorious." That's not true either, because I mean, everybody's human. People make mistakes, and obviously there's stuff going on in there. Like that's why bugs exist. It's human error. Bugs are literally human error. That's what they are. So yeah, and then all right, fine. I'll do the dance.
Yes, Jake doing the wave. Shiver. Everyone's gotta do it.
Shiver. I swear to God,
I'm not.
They made me
people.
do it, Shiver.
No one here would ever consider me a person or a people or a human of any sort.
That's true. You are British.
I'm exempt.
You are British. I think you should just tut and drink tea. Just bloody colonials. You know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because everyone except for Shiver is a colonial. Even Eris is a colonial.
Filthy bloody colonist.
I am. Straight up though, I'm glad that they're adding this segment, the burn down.
Yeah,
It's good to add it.
cool.
Don't get rid of everything else.
Yeah.
So in the article, I go into what my actual problem with what's going on is, and that is literally for the last 6 months, we have heard nothing out of CIG. Like, I say nothing. It's more like 99%
Of nothing.
of nothing having to do with anything in Star Citizen past 3.0.
We have seen the Reclaimer.
Yes, we have seen the Reclaimer.
We have,
and
as of this
ships.
week, we have seen the
We've seen
hologram.
ships.
Yeah, we've seen the holograms. We've seen
And-
some ships.
But we all know the ship pipeline is just fine. We know the ship pipeline is going to crank out ships. That's what they do.
I don't think even the most diehard anti-CIG person can say that CIG can't make pretty ships.
Yes.
Because they got that
I
on
know
lock.
this because I got the SA Discord to agree with me on that.
They got ships on lock.
I will also say
So-
this. The other thing they did show off was Hurston. They have showed off
Yeah.
Hurston.
They did show a little bit of Hurston.
They
yes.
showed off
So-
the actual like flora and the actual buildings of Hurston. So we have seen
so-
some things of them working in the future, but not all.
However, I didn't back this game for Star Citizen Alpha 3 point whatever.
Yeah.
I backed this game for Star Citizen. Full stop. That's it. That's all I want. I don't know how the rest of the project is doing because they don't tell us. How's mining doing? Show us a work in progress of that. Show what the ideas are. How is salvage going? What mechanics are you working on that? How is search and rescue,
we know
bounty
more
hunting,
about
all
serving
those
people
systems.
on a fucking airliner than we do about
I
how
wanna
we're
see
going to get
the
in and mine
bartending.
something which is meant to be in the next, patch after 3.0. Yet we know more about how to serve a damn drink than what's
Now,
coming very soon.
can I come in with the not counterpoint, but possibly explanation?
I don't care though.
No, but see, here's the thing. They have shown us early concepts before. They showed us the golf swing, and this is the example I always go back to, and it's the golf swing.
See, but that's the thing. That was perfect for them to show us.
It was perfect, and look at how pissed off everyone got. The problem
Yes!
is we don't
We don't want that in our game.
But when they show it to us, people get so fired up on it is the end of everything. Oh my god!
It's the internet.
I know.
It's the internet. I'm just going to say this right now. It's the internet. No matter what you say.
Tell me that the golf swing mechanic wasn't bad.
To me, it was fine for a single-seater ship.
It's terrible.
It's even for a single ship. It oversimplifies the game. It's supposed to be complex.
It's absolutely fine if it's a prototype to start to just get the mechanic in the game that only the devs will ever actually use. If they're moving that on and they're going to change how it's used, then okay, that's something.
See,
that was
okay,
never made clear, was it?
Muff2U says they're busy on 3.0. Let them get that done first. Is the entirety of CIG working on 3.0? I would like to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Is all 400 plus people working on Star Citizen working on 3.0?
Well, the other thing is that the CIG has been very hesitant to tell us unless they're doing a mea culpa for fucking up, is how much hours they put into these flashy sales demos, which are designed to sell ships. Because let's be honest here, they said last year that they spent something like 8 weeks of dev time for important devs to work on the demo for CitizenCon. So at a certain point, you got to say, are these worth it because they're making money, or is it worth it in terms of delaying the project a good 2-3 months?
To be fair, I know for a fact, like in terms of like the actual sale pages that are like really well done with all the art. And
those
all the
are turbulent.
Yeah.
No, well, it's turbulent
and the communicate. Yeah, Disco does a lot of that,
and he puts most of that together. So I can't really fault him on that specifically. But
one of the things that, and this is something that we'll never know, but when they say 8 weeks of dev time, how many devs?
That's the other question. But that's the thing, is they'll never tell us, because I think at the end of the day, a lot of people would be upset, because let's be honest here and let's be very fair. But they spend about 4 months out of the year either reorganizing, because it's a huge team. 400 people for one game is massive, and it's really hard to coordinate 400 people.
Massive.
Anyone who's worked on a project, even small projects, knows that the more people you add, the more complicated it gets. You need more structures in place and those kind of things. And I don't think, I mean, I may be completely wrong here, but I have not heard of a single game that has had this level, this number of employees working on one game.
Maybe GTA 5?
Maybe, but I don't even think that Rockstar... I don't even think Rockstar has more than 200 people in their employee at any given time.
And I think there are others that do. Like, if you look at an Ubisoft Assassin's Creed game, bad example, I know, but they end up having like 3 or 4 of the Ubisoft studios that all come in and do something. So they're all listed in the credits, but they'll do little tiny things. This is 4 studios working entirely on one game.
Yeah, and everything that goes into. Well, technically, everything that goes into Star Citizen also goes into Flight 42.
And vice versa, which is awesome.
Which there's people who will go either way, and they're like, I think that's stupid, but I think that's actually very smart, because all the tech goes into one. Like, you don't have to make 2 different things for the one thing. You just make the one thing for the 2 things.
Yeah, make the one for the 2 things, for the 3 things, for the 4.
But yeah, like honestly, like that's my biggest problem, and I've talked about this on this podcast many times. It's nothing new. You guys have all heard me say it, but I just want to know how the entire project is doing. Like if they can honestly tell me that it's like, oh, it's this subset of devs that are working on 3.0, which we honestly don't know from the last 6 months if that's true or not, if that's true though, and it's only like a fraction, like I mean, of anything not less than 100% is a fraction. Working on 3.0, what else is going on with the project? We still don't have the Squadron 42 schedule report.
Yeah.
The overall, like, for the rest of the year timeline has not been updated since we initially got it. I would love to know what else is going on. They've specifically said, and like everyone jumped on this, including our Lord and Savior, Mr. Warlord himself, jumped on this and was like, oh, they have things on, like, that they're working on the schedule that they're not putting on the schedule. They said that when they put the schedule out. They're like, this is not everything we're working on. This is not everything that's going to be in 3.0, but it's most of it.
Now, to be fair, the 3.0 schedule is great. I love that they're doing it. I love that it gets updated every week.
It is one of the best things the CIG has done because it's very, very.
It is a huge step in the right direction.
Yep.
Huge.
Hey, keep in mind, remember, see this bow tie? See this bow tie? Do you remember it stopped last year? This bow tie left last year after CitizenCon because they were so bad. And it's back now because the 3.0 schedule is honestly great.
It's a massive step in the right direction.
So glad that bow tie's back.
Well, the 3.0 schedule, it's not to the same level, but it's like, I can remember back at the beginning of the project where Chris himself was answering questions on the Kickstarter thread during the Kickstarter itself. He was answering questions, and all of the 10 for the chairmans. And of course, they stopped 10 for the chairman because they kind of ran out of good questions, because every single question ended up being asked by Beer for the Beer God, and they were all very angsty at the end anyway. So they stopped that. But like, 3.0 schedule is good. Now we just need the one for 3.1, 3.2, or just Squadron 42, because we do need to know where Squadron 42 is. It doesn't sound like it's going to be this year based on what they're saying, based on saying, like, 1 second. What was it they said? Let me look this up. 1 second. God, where was it? Like something along the lines of like stuff still being added, or looking at tech to add. I can't remember the exact quote.
I'm going to answer a question, the counterpoint in Knowledge Lambo, because at a certain point, Knowledge Lambo, you can say that about anything.
Wait, what's the question?
The counterpoint is like, what are just adding random shit to it that has nothing to do with the project? At that point, that's a nihilist point of view. You could be saying that about anything. You could say that about the government. You could say that about, existence. That reality. We all live in a giant simulation of a duck quacking in deep space. Like, that could be the case. It could just be a giant dream of a high hippopotamus somewhere in some alternate dimension. Totally could be, but at a certain point, it gets ridiculous. The idea that they're just putting random shit up for no reason defeats the purpose of them. Why would they do that and then delay this? There is
still this assumption for some reason by some people in just the internet that Star Citizen is some kind of a massive scam. And if it's a massive scam, it is a very, very expensive, very, very time-consuming scam.
Don't poke the bear, David.
Holy crap.
Don't poke the bear.
I was just in BC, and there weren't bear, but there were deer. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. This week's ATV, not exactly what I wanted. I don't know if the next few weeks are going to be great either.
It's going to be weird. I'm curious as to see how in the world they're going to do this. I do like the inclusion of the blockers on the schedule, which is really nice. We saw them to an extent by them saying, "Yo, this is being delayed because we ran into this."
Yeah.
But having it like pulled out into its own box is nice. I do like that. But yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. I want to see how the whole project is doing, and that was like the whole point of having the studio updates every week, and it sucks that we're not getting it anymore. I don't like this. I don't
either.
I want to stop all three of us for a second, though. Shiver.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hi, Shiver.
You've said, I think, 3 words this whole thing. So, what's up on your end, Shiver?
Well, I'm not strongly opinionated either fucking way. If the project's doomed, what am I going to do about it? I've only sunk in money that I can, is sunk money that is spare. It's not, I haven't dipped into my savings. I haven't been a complete twat or anything like that. No offense to anyone who has been a complete twat and spent your fucking food money on a spaceship. Why would you just do that?
Dumb. That's
But
dumb.
I'm also not. I'm not such a pessimist. I'm pretty patient, man. If it comes out at Christmas, it comes out at Christmas. I'm not going to sit here and have a nosebleed over rage about how late it is. Yeah, it's fucking late. Sitting here and raging about it isn't going to make it come out any quicker. But great, if you've got that much of an extreme opinion, I'm not bothered. In the nicest possible way. As far as I'm concerned, I've got to put my trust in them because that was part of the agreement. If they say it's not ready, then fuck them. It's not ready.
The agreement was, let's let Chris make his game, and we'd have some input, and we'd have a pretty decent view on what's going on, but it's Chris making his game. And quite frankly, to this point, whether I disagree with some things, whether I hate some things that they've done. I hate the referral codes so much. Oh my god, burn that shit down with a fucking flamethrower. Hey, this is Chris making his game, and that's what I signed up for, and I'm still pretty happy with it. Actually, I'm still fucking
I will
very
say,
happy
actually,
with it.
Can I buy that space kitty because the missus really wants one of the space kitties? I'm not going to start begging for referrals.
I've met your wife. I would agree that she wants that space cat bike. That is such an amazing.
I kind of want it too.
I have to question though. Okay, well, not question, but statement here. For those of you that are wondering why, like, we are admittedly kind of more hostile this week than normal.
Speak for yourself,
Fuck you,
David.
I'm not fucking hostile.
Fuck you, you stupid fucking twat!
Well done, you said twat correctly. Well done.
Of course I did, you fucking twat.
Who says twat?
Many people.
Twat.
Really?
It's twat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the big
What's wrong
problems
with
here is we talk about the news of the week. And, like, we normally start the show with 15, 20 minutes, half an hour of just, let's talk about what happened this week. And, well, we got that done in 5 minutes. And
Not a lot happened this week.
not a lot
guys.
happened this week,
done.
sorry.
Hey.
So now we
now
get to
that-
drink
now
beer and
that-
get angry.
Hey, now that there's a bunch of people here, more so than at the beginning of the show, let's talk about VerseCon.
Yeah.
I will say
Let's
that,
talk. Oh, wait. Let's talk Astro and then let's talk VerseCon.
Okay. I was gonna say about VerseCon is
good.
Jake is going to be there.
Yes.
And I'm going to be there. We're actually part of the planning committee there. And both of us have been doing a lot of work. There's a lot of cool stuff. We're focusing a lot on the community aspect of things, panels. We have an SE4 tournament coming. We actually might be able to get a couple of CIG. We don't know. We can't guarantee CIG will be there because legally we can't guarantee CIG will be there.
Yes. They have an open invitation.
But it's Austin. Just saying.
So what you're saying is we can't guarantee you that CIG will be there.
That's just
What's
how. That's just how it works. There's the studio.
It's just the
with
way it
100
is.
people in it. It's probability. Probability is someone's gonna show up.
Yeah, and we've got some good stuff. We've got and it's just like any kind of convention, we're gonna have like a free play area. So if you want to come in and hang out, and you say, hey, you know what? I brought my Magic the Gathering cards. We'll have a free play area for like board games. We'll also have things like.
Wait, hang on. Speaking of slightly Star Citizen related, you know what just showed up today because I was away on vacation?
It has to do with traders and space.
It does, because this
Yeah.
damn
Yeah,
thing
I've
just
got
showed
one of
up.
those.
Star Traders. Yes.
And I'm kind of
So-
tempted to look through it and find the relay card.
It's gonna
So-
take you an hour.
Yeah, it will.
There's
So
300 cards in there.
There's an AstroPub. There's
Yeah?
an AstroPub card. So yeah,
There's a relay card as well because, thank you, Miku.
yeah. Miku did it for us as well.
Miku is pretty awesome.
You're a crazy man.
Cheers to Miku.
So we've got
first
the
con.
thing is, but that's the thing. So we're going to have Star Traders boards there. We'll have Freelancer the game, which is a card game that was invented by
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk's game too. It was
He's got a game too.
Yeah, his games. We're gonna have board games there, but we'll also have a place where if you want to if you want to play other games, we'll be there. We'll have, like I said, panels. We're gonna have an esports competition which people can sign up for to play with Arena Commander and Star Marine, and we'll also have possibly some people there who are involved in Star Citizen's creation. We're looking to get someone who's actually a character in Star Citizen to come by. We're in negotiations with that.
That's cool.
So yeah, so it'll
Gillian
be
Anderson confirmed.
nothing that big, but I will say that the actress we're talking to did play Major Kusanagi in one of the latest animes for Ghost in the Shell. She played the main character, and she
So now you can find out who it is.
Yes, well, there's a couple of actresses who played it, so
Yep.
But it's going to be a good time. It's October 27th and 28th. The 27th is going to be just kind of a CitizenCon watch party, and the 28th is going to be an actual, the convention itself. It's the first time we've done it,
It might be terrible.
it's not gonna be
There's a 1% chance it's going to be terrible.
You know what you guys should do is start some talks about, a con
listen.
up where civilization is, up where
Do you know
people
why-
don't broil alive.
Do you know why,
Specifically
do you know
Ottawa.
why do you know why the percentage went up to 1%?
because you're going to be there, or
No,
Dolvek's going to be there.
Solvec's going to be
It's
there.
going to be there. We may even have a rare screening of Bulkheads. So perhaps. Perhaps. So
Oh.
Perhaps.
I've
been briefly told about this.
I will neither confirm nor deny that something is being worked on.
yeah. So
There's always
Though-
something being worked on.
Hang on, just so you all know, the latest episode of Bulkheads is out.
out.
Yes, it's here.
It's out.
Wild.
It's actually got 2 new voice actors who I'm really, really happy to work with. One is BB Wolf, and the other is George Ledoux, who actually
recognize his voice.
you'll recognize his voice because he's done many actually significant things. He was in
That he was paid for.
that he was paid for. This he's not
We
paid
didn't
for.
pay him for
He's
this.
just doing this for fun. Or fun. I don't even know why he's doing this, but
If you guys don't know what Bulkheads is, I'm putting a link in the chat.
Go to that.
Didn't Bulkheads get a
Boom,
new
beat
writer
you.
too
Oh.
for that episode?
Bulkheads did get a new junior writer. It's Shiver. He helps me with. What do you help me with again?
I make you write the wordy words.
All right. But no, George Ledoux. This was hugely geeky for me. Like I nerded out over this for a while because he was actually one of the voice actors in Neverwinter Nights: Shadows of Undrentide, which I put probably about 2,000 hours into Neverwinter Nights over the course of too many years.
Okay, Jake beat me. Or I put the wrong link apparently. Bulkheads.sc is no longer a thing. Okay.
What did we lose?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to ask about that
What
one.
happened?
I'll have to ask about that.
Fastcard put it in there. That's this.
Way to go, Fastcard. Thank you, Fastcard.
Is it just Bulkheads on YouTube?
I think so.
I think it's just Bulkheads, but it's Bulkheads SC on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. Episode 5.
So go check out episode 5 of Bulkheads. It's slightly humorous.
Good.
Can I do a little bit of inside because I was actually around. Okay, so for you guys who don't know, episode 4 was our episode 3 ended up being episode 3 and 4 because
Yes.
they had to split into 2 because it was so long. And by the time we had finished episode 3, or been working on episode 3, we were also working on episode 4, and then we were also working on episode 5, 6, and 7, I believe, at the same time.
Yep.
So by the time episode 3 and 4 were done, episode 5 was almost already finished. 6 and 7 had already started production because of how fucking long. Action is hard to script.
Yeah.
With CryEngine. Should
Yeah.
I say that?
For those of you that don't
Didn't
know,
episodes 4, 5, and 6 come out first, and then you did 1, 2, and 3 afterwards?
I hate you.
We should probably start naming. You should probably start talking about those as the
Yeah.
the actual trilogy because
Yeah.
everyone gives a shit about that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, where are we? We're still so far away from questions, and there aren't very many questions. People, throw us your questions.
Questions.
We will answer them.
Can I be by my critical self now?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Go nuts.
So, I'm sure. I think Jake will echo this as well. Is that one of the things that I really wasn't keen about with this last ATV was Chris's non-apology apology.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I understand that stuff takes time. We all do. Shit happens. But the reason why it felt like the reason why he was saying that was because they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. He didn't address the 2016 date, which he originally placed that a lot of people claimed he was doing it because of money. He didn't address, like the realization that this has been a year since Gamescom and it still won't be out.
Yeah.
And to a degree, none of us, like to a point, look at every other video game that's missed a date. They get delayed a lot. A lot of games do. Mass Effect Andromeda got delayed by like 3 or 4 months before it came out because they wanted to do more work. Last Guardian. Now,
Last Guardian got delayed by what, like 4 years?
But both those games weren't exactly great. But you also have games like Overwatch, which was delayed, which was in alpha for like 2 years, alpha beta for like 2 years before it actually released to the public, and kept getting pushed back in dates and so on and so forth. And the reason why that happens is because it's normal. It's that dates are set as kind of an optimistic, and you don't always make those, and you push them
It's
back.
a goal.
That's a reasonable
It's a goal. Thing is, you have to get people to work. You have to tell them we need this by this date. And they'll be, okay, that's my goal. I'm going to work for it for this date. And if it slips, you can't really like hang them or anything. It's just, okay, it slipped. This is our new date. We need it by this. Like, there has to be. Yeah.
But I think that
You
Chris
could
is.
hang them, but then it's really going to be delayed.
I'm sorry, not delayed. You mean what was that term that basically means canceled?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about, right? The one that,
Yes,
like,
I know what you're talking about.
Cancels.
Uh,
But on
shit.
hiatus or something like that. Yeah.
No, it's not on. I know. It wasn't hiatus. It was.
The one that
What
everyone
are we
was,
talking about?
everyone was yelling about Star Marine because they used that term for.
They used the taint.
Indefinitely
Indefinitely delayed. Yes, there we go.
Thank you. But the thing is that I don't think Chris addressed people.
Thank you, Sunjammer.
I don't think Chris addressed people's concerns about why the delay. If he had come on and said, "Listen, shit takes a long time. We want to get 3.0 out to be good. We're sad that we missed the date, but these things are complicated and we need to go on." But instead, he kind of went on and said, "We've always done this. We've always been this," and he kept using the defensive term as like, "I always."
That's actually something that kind of angers me in his wording. Like, there's one specific line in his wording that almost feels slightly condescending. It's if you've read the list of caveats we gave when we first started sharing our internal unpadded schedules, our first point, it's condescending. It's like, yeah, I know, we read it. Believe me, we read it. I still want to know. And I'm glad that they're giving us the update. And I'm not someone that's saying, oh, this is terrible, it's delayed, oh my god. You know what? It's delayed, it's fine. I understand why they're delaying it. This is going to be bigger than 2.0, and 2.0 did not launch poorly. 2.0 is the poorest launch they had, and they cannot launch 3.0 with the same quality that they launched 2.0. They can't. Right? Like 3.0 has to launch and it has to be workable and it has to be good. So I'm okay with them spending more time on it.
I mean, it doesn't.
It should.
Alpha.
It still should.
Of course. Everything should release and it should be perfect. But at the same time, it's an alpha.
Keep in mind, Star Citizen is not
knowing.
Star Citizen is not treated like an alpha. Star Citizen is not treated like an alpha.
Of course.
No alpha,
but it
like
should be.
Anymore. No alpha is treated like an alpha anymore. Early access people treat it as a full game.
Fortnite.
Am I the only one here who's played an Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, I mean,
release, right?
But that's Bethesda. Bethesda gets filleted by the entire gaming community just because they make an announcement.
Not anymore. Not
I
anymore.
mean, no, not anymore because Fallout 4 left a huge taste in people's mouth. Like, are you not hydrated? Like that was
Also-
disgusting,
also-
man. You knew that was like slimy. None of that
Also, releasing Skyrim on ATMs, you know.
shit. But
No, but
my point-
By the way, it's been so damn long, right? This is the longest gap between
Yeah.
an Elder Scrolls game. What the fuck is 6? For God's sake!
Fallout did
Sorry,
better.
they're making
out.
so much
Carry
money.
on.
They're
It's
making
out.
so
It's
much
called-
money.
It's out, Shiver. It's called Elder Scrolls Online.
Don't even go there. I hate that game.
I can't remember what it was that like I thought Elder Scrolls Online was fine, but then my friends picked up on something like it was like a high elf saying take you to Sovereign or a Nord saying take you to Sovereign as a curse, which to them would be like take you to heaven, which doesn't work as a curse, and they picked up on that little bit of dialogue and ran with it, and no one ever played it, and it made me sad. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't wait
don't
for
like it.
I can't wait for
I think-
3.0, but I am really excited that 3.0 is going to come with the Delta patch, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
There's a-
That is
there's a
fucking
couple-
good.
We say all these things. The reality is that the majority of the community won't give a fuck, a flying fuck, once 3.0 is released. Nobody will care.
You
This
guys
whole thing will be
realize that
forgotten when
all of
3.0
the
is
people
actually released.
talking on the internet are the 10% on this end and the
Yeah.
10% on this end.
Yeah.
All the people in the middle
Yeah.
who are indifferent, the 80% of the people who backed this game,
Yeah,
just they don't care.
I
It's
actually
a
agree.
Tiny percentage.
I actually agree a
Yeah.
tiny bit with what Mac Vault Dweller says there. When 3.0 didn't launch last December, Chris needed to come out and say, okay, we've got a
Yes!
new
Yeah, he
concept for
needed
3.0, and it's going to take significant increase in time to bring it
If
to
they
you.
said that, we'd been like, cool, dude.
Yeah,
Communication.
And I understand where their
Use your
increase.
mouth, say words.
If you look at some of the new tech that they're putting in and the procedural generation, and I mean they lost behavior, which kind of slowed them down, but this is entire procedural moons, and it's amazing what they're doing with it, and it looks great, and I can't wait to play it, and it's lovely,
And
and they
so-
need it for
so-
Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. They need it for everything, and it's really
No,
really
don't
fucking
scream.
good that they're
Don't
doing
scream.
it.
Don't scream.
You're-
Do
you're
not
feeding
scream.
them. You're feeding them. They want
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
So
Thank
here's the
I am
here's
in
the thing
control.
that infuriates me to no end is every time I say concerns about delays at all, people will come out like, "Oh, I don't care about delays. No one should care about delays. That's why we're in the project." No, it's not the delays that's the problem.
It's the communication.
They don't tell us until like the second it's happening. When
Well,
No,
they
For
have
instance-
to have known.
for instance, the whole like we're going to delay right after a sale starts. That's like it feels disingenuous, even if it is completely coincidental.
And
it
the
feels
problem,
disingenuous.
it,
as
it
fuck.
feels it, and the problem with that is that development and I feel like development and marketing
Marketing
are
aren't talk. They
so
don't talk.
They don't talk.
far removed because marketing says, okay, we promised our once every 1.5 months ship sale, and they can keep that. They can keep that because ships are pretty easy to do. So they've got their once every month and a half shift sale, and they've got it on clockwork, and they've got, okay, this
Yeah.
is the next one, this is the next one, this is
We-
and there's no
we knew
delays
that
on
was gonna
that.
happen.
And there's
Yeah.
no delays on that because ships are easy for CIG now. They've got the ship pipeline, and they have got that locked down. And the ships
And
are
it's-
honestly mostly built by the time that they're launched as a concept.
Yeah, by the time because like for instance, they finished the 600 concept this week. I can guarantee you by the time they actually do the 600 concept, which will probably be around Gamescom, it'll be in gray box or at least
Yeah.
white box
Yeah.
because that's how fast they move with ships now. And eventually, we hope that that'll be the game with the rest of the
some of that work is being done in parallel with the concept.
Yeah, and
So-
a lot of that's a lot of the stuff that we're going to see going forward, planets, armor, customization, NPCs, all that stuff will be probably streamlined in the same way that ships are, but they've only recently been worked on.
Yeah.
So
Now-
it's easy. It's easy to criticize. It's hard to kind of look into it and say, okay, what the reason why they're doing so well with ships, the reason why they do these ships is because they have them available and they have the people there to work on them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure people like Jay Lee are chomping at the bit to just be like, listen, I'm going to make 5 different NPCs in a day, and then we're start churning them out and turning them into the game. it'll happen. It's just not there yet. At the same time, it really feels disingenuous when there's a delay, and then they're like, the delay in the actual game, and they're like, we're going to move ahead with this concept sale because it's available, but it just so happens the next week we delayed it.
I have to take on something, and that's the idea that missing a date is bad or reputation killing. And it's not. Keep in mind, CIG are doing something that basically no development company has ever done, and that's they're giving us dates in their pre-alpha. It isn't even alpha yet. Like,
I mean, they call it alpha. So
they call it pre-alpha. They call it.
No, they don't. It's Star Citizen Alpha 3.0 that we're waiting for right
on.
now.
Anyway,
it's not Star Citizen pre-alpha 3.0.
But
we're not in Star Citizen pre-alpha 2.6.3.
Okay, it's even though
it's alpha.
Whatever, even an alpha, you don't really like. No one gives dates on when an alpha is going to be done because no one knows. You don't know. An alpha is
yes,
still,
they do.
Not really.
They do, but generally they're at an alpha stage. I will say this: generally they miss dates. Every game that I've even seen, like for instance, Kerbal Space Program. It's a fantastic game, a wonderful game. It was an alpha for 4 years, and then they went to beta and released it almost in 6 months.
Yeah,
and they always miss their dates in alpha. Like they said, they want to get this patch done by this time in August. They were releasing it sometime in late September. Every single game I have been a part of in early access has missed dates in terms of launching. DayZ, Kerbal Space Program, Life is Feudal. Even Blizzard misses dates with their alpha releases if they actually announce an alpha release, because usually they're just like, fuck it, if it's done, it's done. They don't usually talk about the dates.
I mean, the only game that they had in alpha for an extended period was Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch.
Yeah.
It is still alpha though, and the idea of alpha is when you're creating the features. Beta is when it's feature complete and kind of testing and bug fixing. And one of the problems with Star Citizen is it does have more features than basically any game ever done to this point, period. There is more planned in Star Citizen than anything else ever, period. So you have to set target dates. You have to hope that you hit them, but you might not. And you have to accept that it's still an alpha. So they don't know how long it's going to take them to put in the things that they wanted to put in. There's features that they want to implement that all of a sudden, this takes longer because we did something 6 months ago and we didn't realize it would affect this feature because we didn't realize when we created the
But do you know what would be really nice?
If they told us.
They fucking told us.
Agreed.
Like, for instance...
100% agreed. It's... communication. CIG's problem is not its development. Its development is working as development does. And development has problems, and we know that. The problem is that we were sold on a CIG that communicates, and it's the communications aspect that is the problem. Yeah. We should know when there are these delays, because these are the delays that we paid in to knowing about.
Let me put it this way. When the community itself, when content creators and people who really pay attention to the community can see a CIG saying something and can interpret, this means a 6-month delay, it means that you're not good at your job, A, in terms of trying to coerce people or tell people everything's going to be okay. And B, it means that you need to communicate more, because we're so good at seeing through your bullshit that we know when you're bullshitting. And they can for instance, Chris in this last, he was bullshitting. He was angry at us because we were angry at him.
They can be as bad as they want.
Trying to be calm, but he's angry.
They can be as bad as they want at setting dates if they tell us why they missed them. Now, it was honestly kind of like, and this is, I still don't know what happened here, but when they said that Squadron 42 was basically ready and the only thing that they were waiting on were, everything was in gray box or better.
That's not ready, though.
I know it's not ready, but we haven't had an update since then, and that becomes a communication problem.
Yeah, it's
because
it's
that
been
was an
a year.
update.
Why don't we know what's going on with Squadron 42? It infuriates me to no end.
It does. And I don't think this has to do with anyone lying on things. I don't think it has to do with anyone being bad at their job or doing things wrong.
Oh, I think the PR department is.
I think.
not
Well,
good.
okay, yeah. Sorry, I think the PR department is not good. I think that the development side of things is working fantastically. Honestly, I do. The things that we,
I'm
And-
gonna be honest with you.
no, I would agree with you if they told us that they were.
don't care.
I don't know.
What we see them doing is honestly groundbreaking
Oh, yeah.
at times. Like,
Oh, yeah,
like the stuff that they're
there's-
doing
there's-
is absolutely amazing.
I've shown
Hellfire, yes.
Well-
CIG does have a PR department. They
huge,
definitely have a PR.
like,
And
it's
it
like
sucks.
6 or 7 people.
you don't see them because the people you see of the community of the PR department is mostly the
There's-
community management team. But there are people who work in marketing and PR who you've never seen on screen.
Yep, and they suck. I do not appreciate them. I do not like them. I do not think that they're doing a good job. And they are, quite frankly, the only people at CIG that I don't think are doing a good job, because guess what? They are the gateholders between
I mean,
the knowledge
Well,
and us.
I don't
When-
agree with that.
When the
100%,
project
but-
first started, there was no marketing wall, like you said. And as you said,
Yeah.
the way that CIG is doing this project is pretty new.
Yeah, it is.
The whole Kickstarter thing is fairly new, really.
It's
is a
not
fairly
it's
new
not
way
as
of doing
new
things. And
anymore,
the
but when
marketing
CIG
team-
started, it was brand new. CIG is
Oh,
one of the first games. Sorry,
I'm
continue.
also-
the
I'm also-
marketing team
Go ahead.
is still going to be doing things in a traditional way that they have been taught, that they have been doing all their careers to this day, which is not compatible with the way that Star Citizen is doing things. So there could well be developers
That's the
out there going,
problem.
hey,
Yeah.
look, I've got this mechanic. Can you just show that off? And the marketing guy's like, no one's interested now. We'll low priority that. And that's traditional.
They're traditional marketers in the sense that they will come from, a lot of them come from Hollywood. The few people I have heard of who are in the PR department are
worked on movies.
marketers who've worked on movies, and so they're not used to games. And the few that have worked on games have worked with large companies.
And
Ubisoft.
and
And
even when
it's
you
great that they have a
even
good
when you-
resume.
yeah,
even
but-
when you compare
Hire Jake.
like movies,
Hashtag hire Jake.
I mean, sure.
no. Jake would want to work.
Like honestly, if they hired me at this point, I would walk in there and say like, all right, this is what done. They're gonna look at me and say no, and I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, bye.
Yeah,
Hey, that'd
so-
be refreshing at least.
Yeah. But no, like even if you move from movies to all other games in terms of marketing, movies are way more closed off than video games ever will be.
Movies, you get a trailer 6 months out, you get a trailer 4
Yeah.
months out, you get
So-
a trailer
so-
1 month out, and that's it.
So what they're thinking as open development might be to them, but it's not to us because it's stuff that we're used to from other AAA developers.
yeah.
We want it to go a step further than that because like we're the ones who funded this game. We honestly, like I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna sound entitled, but deal with it. We have the right to know what's going on with this project.
Well, it's in the pledge.
Yeah.
It's in the pledge that they put up themselves that they've hidden now, which is funny. You can still get access to the URL, but it's not. You can't get access to it anywhere on the site if you have the direct link. And the answer is that I think that there's a lot of people in the community team who would like to talk more with the community and be more active about it. But there's people in management who think they either know better, or want to have their say. They're the producers, and anyone who's worked in entertainment knows that producers could be the wonderful, like they could be the best thing that could ever happen to a production because they know what they're doing, or they could be the worst thing that can happen to a production because they want to put their finger in every little detail and think because they think they know better than that. And I think at the end of the day, the big issue is that those are the people who tend to be holding up communication, not necessarily the community team, but those people. And
Brivos is right. We don't have the right to know every little thing about the project. We only have the
I don't
right to be
wanna
updated about its progress, and that's true. But we do need an update on the progress of Squadron 42, for example.
We don't know. We don't
And
have all of the information about the progress of Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the answer is like we don't need to know like the line by line detail of a budget.
No.
We don't need to know even like the like do they have the money? It's like we don't need to know that. What we need to know is
I wouldn't
about
mind knowing that.
but we don't really need it. I mean, like, I wouldn't say that we're entitled to that. I think what we are entitled for is a more open communication for them to clear that blockage that's still happening between the actual development side and then the entertainment side of CIG.
Here's how I envision it.
Infotainment or whatever.
Here's how I envision it.
Yeah. Go, Jake, go.
I'm gonna go
David, you know why you can't hear us? It's because our volume's super low.
Really?
Yeah, people have called it out multiple times. Look at chat, dude.
We're at the same bloody like. No, like. Okay.
Here's the thing: we get compressed. You don't.
Okay, on OBS they show us the same level for me. Sorry.
So here's how I envision it. If they were to actually update it, like say they have like a big map, right? And they say this box here is the LA studio, this box here is the Austin studio, this box is UK, etc. And be like, this department here is working on this, and this. And you don't have to go into specifics. You don't have to say like, oh, they're working on this very specific plot point from Squadron 42. That you don't have to say, oh, they're working on this specific ship. Here's the work in progress design. I don't care about that. Just say, hey, they're working on a ship.
Yeah.
They're working on this mechanic. They're working on this planet. They're working on this city. Like, tell us.
Okay.
That's all I want. That's all I've ever wanted. And everyone's like, oh, we're in the drought. We're 3.0's been a year. Everybody gets antsy. No. I said this before 2.6 came out. I said this after 2.6 came out. I said this always. Jesus.
Okay. Here we go. Let's get to questions. Before we get to questions, though, I do want to say that this is something that we've done many times before. We've called out CIG on not communicating.
Oh, I remember after the holiday live stream. That was fun.
We've done this a number of times, and we're doing it again now because it's where we feel we're at. I think all of us still like the project. All of us still have faith in it. All of us still think that they're doing amazing work. We just want to know more about it. That's it.
I will say one more thing to add about that is that to a degree this is also the content drought because there's a content drought every summer. People get antsy, and
it's
because
every time this year.
And this time, part of the reason why we're getting smaller ATVs is because they're working on the Gamescom demo, and we know there's going to be a Gamescom demo because they have a presentation, and they always shorten the ATVs or give less and less information. And I think we'll probably only have 2 more ATVs. They're not going to give us an ATV before Gamescom.
They always skip one. Okay, so let's get to questions. We've got a number of them, and we've only got a half hour left. So let's, try and go through these relatively quickly. Brivols asks, what do you think of CR sitting the community down and having a powwow? Yes, please.
Wait, say that again?
What do you think of Chris Roberts sitting down and having a powwow with the community? I say yes, please.
Yeah.
I like the cat. So
Lambo says thoughts on some images. It's hard for me to open them from this. I think I know what there are.
Yeah. The image.
I've got it.
I want.
I've got it.
Okay, Jake.
Let's
Let's defer to Jake. Okay,
I like
Jake.
this image a lot. Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
Lambo, if you're in chat, you can PM them to me on Discord if you want. First, it is this one, which I thought was just humorous. What's this one?
I'm PMing them to you on Discord, Jake.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the first one is obvious. We've said a million times that we're not terribly okay with the scope being reduced drastically in 3.0. I'm not okay with it,
but it happened.
At least it happened. It's old news. That's how it is.
Get over it. Get over it, son.
I will say this about the.
I mean, I'm not over it.
I will say, a lot of us said that scope was too much for one patch. We said that when they announced it. We said that's too much. It's the reason where the term Jesus patch came, because it was like a Jesus patch. It was so big that it would be the biggest patch they would ever do ever. Yeah. And I think they sat down in January and February like, holy fuck, this
what
is
did
too
we
big of a
say?
patch.
Yeah, they bit off more than they could chew.
Wouldn't it have made more sense to call it the Beatles patch, because they were bigger than Jesus?
Bigger than Jesus, the Beatles patch. Yeah, I'm referring to 3.0 as the Beatles patch.
The second link. No, I got it, Lambo. Thank you. The second link I thought was pretty funny, and I want to know where you guys think you are on this spectrum.
I didn't even look at this, honestly.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So basically, it's a spectrum of how you feel about Star Citizen as a whole, and it goes all the way from the trolls to the shills. And there's a full spectrum of in between, right? So like the trolls are playing a metagame for comedy gold. They're sowing discord with fake provocations to elicit reactions. Mm-hmm. The haters, they openly despise the project, assume outright fraud, and actively seek chances to criticize it. The heretics are former proponents who lost faith and were exiled from official channels after voicing too many criticisms.
I find it annoying that that's considered sincere. Terming that sincere to me kind of makes the entire spectrum disingenuous.
What? You don't think that the mods in Spectrum are heavy-handed?
I don't know. I don't go to Spectrum.
They're super heavy-handed.
So bad. Let me put it this way: the reason why no one should ever use Spectrum, in my opinion, is because they use the mods who are at Spectrum, who are heavy-handed, who are biased, and they're just terrible. They're bad at their job. And it's not like I'm saying, oh, her, they're bad at their job.
Anyway,
put it up on the screen, David.
No, I'd like to skip on past this because we got a lot.
Okay. No.
Anyways, you should see this. I think it's a pretty good spectrum in terms of how people feel about the game. I think it's a pretty good spectrum.
Put it in chat, Jake. But I mean, it's not a bad spectrum. But we gotta move on. We're on question 2 of 15.
So
I want to get through some questions.
We don't have to get through all the questions,
but I want to, and it's my show.
Jake, he has been on pretty much.
We didn't even have a discussion about it.
Well, what's the discussion, Jake? Quickly, what's the discussion?
Where do you? I asked a question.
According to that, I am an agnostic.
I believe I'm a believer in that.
I'm a believer.
Yeah,
I'm a believer.
Where's believer?
I am generally confident in the project, but willing to question poor decisions. I'd
say believer as well.
Of them.
I'd say believer as well then.
Mm-hmm. Like overall, I'm positive about the project because I'm a generally positive person. I feel dwelling on negative things for too long makes me sad on the inside, and I don't want to feel that way. However, I'm not blind, and I will point out horrible things when I see them, as I did today.
Where's the I keep myself to myself and listen to metal music?
Middle ground.
That's Shiver.
That's the white section on the bottom.
Yeah, it's for Shiver. Project Sinus asks, can PU 3.0 still be CitizenCon? Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah,
definitely.
It's.
I don't. Yeah. It may miss CitizenCon. It could entirely miss CitizenCon, depending on what's going on. But it could definitely meet. CitizenCon.
I think it can definitely hit CitizenCon. Project Sinus asks, looks like the tools for 3.0 are done. What kind of blockers will be hardest to deal with? Honestly, getting performance.
All network problems.
Yeah, networking and performance. It's the thing that CIG have had the problems with most. And in a few weeks, I'm going to be having another roundtable powwow in person like I did a few weeks ago. And one of my friends who's a developer who does a lot of coding has been asking a lot of questions that I really think are extremely good questions that surround even with what's the name? Shiver, what's the name of the server thing?
The server thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great
the thing that puts people into different servers dynamically, and the servers are talk to each other.
Bind.
Yeah, even his question is, even with network binding, will still have a pretty low latency, and you'll still only be able to get so many people near each other. So what's going to be a large
You
battle?
mean high latency?
High latencies, yeah,
High
sorry.
latency.
What is going to be an actual large battle in Star Citizen? This is something that they haven't talked about a lot in a long time.
I don't think they know.
They don't. But that is that's an important question for Star
Well, I
Citizen.
think that's
one of the
I think
big things
honestly.
I've wondered.
Honestly, I think the key for that is object container streaming system. That's the key for that.
we
which
all
is-
hope, right?
Well, no, that's the thing is that it basically what it says is fuck off anything that we can't see, or only going to worry about what we can see, and then even that, what matters to that. Because if you see an Idris that's 200 meters away, if you only see to the side of it, in theory, the object container system should say, okay, you only see some shitty pixels on the left side of that of that Idris because you're not actually paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And if you look to it, it'll render in because it's like, oh shit, you're looking at this now. That's the technical answer for that. But I don't even think CIG knows if that's going to work or not. But we won't have the object container streaming system in full until at least 3.1, which could be as early as December or as late as sometime next year.
Yeah.
So
where's the name? God, this gets so long. Stuart GT asks, in the schedule of reports, CIG apparently finally admitted after a year, I don't think so, that performance and stability dropped sharply once the active players in a server reached 12 to 15 players.
They've said that multiple
They've
times.
said that many times.
It's an ongoing problem.
Yeah. They've been saying this for a year. It's not like they've finally admitted this now. But we won't see this drastically improve until both network bind, unbind, now late 3.1, and object container streaming now 3.2 are fully implemented. Thoughts on awful frames per second now and in the near future?
It's an alpha, yo. Performance is going to be bad. You just got to deal with it.
Also,
It'll get
But
better.
we're allowed to be pissed off about it, aren't we?
I'm not
It is a
happy about it,
hardware.
but
There's
I
nothing we can
accept
do
it
about
as reality.
it is still an alpha, and I think we will still see a fair amount of improvements in FPS in 3.0, even without the network unbind, and the object culling, because of some of the other stuff. Not great in FPS increases. I don't think we're going to get to 60, but I think we might at least hit 25, 30.
If
I
they
think you're
can-
looking maybe at more stable 30 than dropping from 30 to 20.
I'm
even if
looking-
you've
If they
got a
can,
GTX
if they
1080.
can deal with the fact that that more than 15 players causes a severe performance hit, if they can figure out how to mitigate that, it will do wonders.
the other thing is that as a caveat to that, people are like, oh, that sounds really terrible. It's like, that's what exists right now. That's the problem right now is anything over 15 players hits the server really hard.
Yeah.
So if you have a full server, a 24-person server, it gets really bad. And I don't know if they're going to be able to solve that until object calling actually is in game. That's the big thing. Once that's in game, I think you'll start seeing better performance, but that's not going to be in game.
We won't
until
know.
at least December.
We won't know, but I think that there are some other improvements that they've mentioned throughout the stuff for 3.0 that will actually help that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm for sure that there's going to be a lot of optimizations and support they'll do after 3.0, like 3.0.1, 3.0.2, when they actually see the effect of massive numbers of players on the servers.
So Ailborn asks, do you think the ATV studio report excision could have been done to hold back from spoiling more and more Squadron 42 content for more imminent release than we expect?
No.
Sadly, no.
Nice thought, though.
It's a lovely thought.
It's very
listen-
pleasant that you think so.
Listen. There's a perfect reason why Squadron 42 is being delayed, and I think a lot of people here know this, which is the planetary system.
Yeah.
The ability to land on planets has completely changed the scope of what Squadron 42 could be. Yes, it's scope creep, but it's more
good scope creep.
Yeah, it's more
frankly
the difference between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 1 was good, but it was limited. Mass Effect 2, a lot of people like better because of the story, a little bit more in-depth systems. Yes, it removed a lot of the RPG elements.
2 is a perfect game.
Mass Effect 1 is.
But it has better shooting characteristics. And I think
does.
that's the difference between Squadron 42 before Planetary and after Planetary. And the same concept is that Squadron 42 is a Wing Commander clone, which is good, but then now it's going to be something that's
It's going to be more.
different.
It was originally
Yeah.
planned as, I mean, keep in mind, 4 years ago when it started, Squadron 42 was planned as a Wing Commander clone set entirely in space, and you were basically entirely on your spaceship and on an Idris occasionally, and you pointed at people and clicked and they spoke at you. And now it's a completely different thing because, honestly, because we gave Chris $150 million to do it. We said, no, we don't just want this. We want the best thing you can possibly do. And he's listened to us and he's doing it.
There's a limit to how long you can delay it, but that's 100% the reason why they've delayed. It's the reason why we're going to get it in 2018 or maybe 2019 is because they wanted to add that in. But hey.
And the reason I don't think it is this year is when they say things like we're homing in on features for Squadron 42, it means that they're not 100% complete, and they'd have to be 100% complete by now to be out this year.
On top of that, we'd be seeing massive media blitzes on YouTube right now. If it was going to be.
Elwook asks, "Who's played Star Traders? Are you ready to burn your Monopoly boards yet?" I have never owned a Monopoly board. Monopoly is shit. Go play some fucking German games and get Bausack. Fucking Bausack, yo. Sorry.
Monopoly is the worst board game on this earth.
Bam.
Listen, Settlers of Catan is another fantastic game, and that's also, I think that's a German game as well.
It's a German. Germans do great board games, quite frankly.
Sims and board games.
Guys, totally unrelated. If you want, I have 2 board game recommendations that are the frequent in my household. If you want to never trust your friends again, play Battlestar Galactica, the board game.
Oh my god, I saw a couple of my friends in BNG played it, and they did it live streamed the whole thing. Holy shit, is that a backstabbing game?
It's bad.
It's so good though. It's so like this.
If you want the light version of that game, I recommend Secret Hitler by the Cards Against Humanity guys. It's essentially Battlestar Galactica, the board game, but it's super simplified and it's really, really good.
Essentially, both of them are like iterations of Mafia, or where basically one person is evil.
Someone is an evil person who no one knows.
No one knows. You have to, and the other person is the person whose job is to find out who the evil person is, and then everybody else is just kind of there as fillers.
Yep. Yes, exactly. If any of you have played Resistance, it's like that, but I think BSG is a little bit better designed than Resistance. That's just my own personal opinion. Maybe it's the theme. I think theme is everything in this game, but yeah, Battlestar Galactica, the board game. The other board game that I'm actually having a lot of fun with recently is one that I backed on Kickstarter, and it's really, really good. All of everything is really high quality, and believe it or not, it is the Dark Souls board game. That game is hard. It is unforgiving, but it's wonderful.
I need
definitely
to
check that out. Definitely, you do.
You need a mini fridge. You do.
Yeah, I need
I need a mini fridge up here too.
Yeah,
my fridge is down.
Yeah.
Billy BB Came asks, "What's your opinion on Star Citizen investing almost 2 years on planetary tech?" Good.
It's. I think.
Wait, say that again.
Billy BB Came.
He asks, "What's your opinion on Star Citizen investing 2 years on planetary tech?"
So here's the thing. Planetary tech is a stretch goal. It's part of the original.
Are you okay there? A Schiffer?
I love that name. That's a brilliant name.
Yeah. It was originally a stretch goal. They said that that planetary R&D would happen at some point. It wasn't going to be a guaranteed thing for release, but then they hired OG CryEngine devs, and they're like, "Hey, we can do that."
And then they realized that it changed the entire scope of the game and made it something better than they had ever imagined. They decided, "Hey, let's put it the fuck in."
And here's the thing, it was going to be in Star Citizen at some point.
Yeah,
after launch. Yeah, it's gonna be an after launch edition.
But hey, I mean, they figured it out way beforehand, and that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
The thing is it's delayed a lot of stuff, and I guarantee
it has.
It's delayed a lot of the game, and it's caused a lot of rewrites. But at the end of the day, it makes it so that you have a Star Citizen which will release better than Elite Dangerous released, and then Elite Dangerous is the game it's always compared against, which did the idea of doing doing a base game. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just going to. Hey, listen, G Fuel. if you guys haven't had G Fuel, this is both shilling and realistic.
I haven't had G Fuel.
If you're looking for something it's no sugar, but if you're looking for like something that gives you a lot of energy, it like one of these and you're done. Like it's super high.
Do you drink coffee in the morning?
No.
Do you drink caffeine in the morning?
I sometimes go out for work friends for a coffee, but it's more of a social experience.
Do you ever have the need that you are super tired,
No.
so you drink caffeine?
Never.
Okay, then don't buy G Fuel because that's what it's for.
Okay.
It basically, if you're looking, like, because one of the things, the reason why I got G Fuel is because I have Rockstar. I usually
we are not a sponsored podcast.
We're not. Hey,
listen,
G Fuel,
listen up.
I would love if someone sponsored us. I would show the fuck out of anyone who paid me. But guess what? No one's fucking paying me.
So here's the thing about G Fuel. It's got 25 calories and it essentially equates to about 85 cents a drink.
Where is our cat?
I don't know where a cat is.
Hi, Cam.
Oh.
It's got the punch of an energy drink that costs like $3 at a gas station.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
For
Okay.
80 cents.
Jake,
It's good and it's delicious.
Jake, Fastcart asks when the next Patreon chat session is.
Oh crap! None of us have been around, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
there have been a lot of
We,
vacations. I was away. We're gonna do one shortly. Jake,
Everybody's
organize
been
it.
away.
Jake, organize it.
I will.
For those of you that don't know, if you are a Patreon at the level of $10 or more, you can come and have monthly chat sessions with us, and we chat and shit. El Wook asks, how many patches this year? Will we hit 3.2 or will mining be a massive brick wall? I think 2 patches this year.
I think one.
I think 3.0 and 3.1 this year, personally.
I think we'll
3.0
we'll see
3.0 will
see
not
three
come out
patches.
before Citizen Con. Mark my words.
I think we'll see 3 patches. We'll see 3.0 and then we'll see
And
3.0.
3.0.1.
3.1 and 3.0.2 before the end of the year, probably.
Yep.
We won't see a 3.1 because 3.1 is going to add a lot of the stuff that was in 3.2 is going to be added into 3.1.
Yeah.
And we're going to see kind of what we saw with 3.0, kind of merging a lot of stuff. That
We need an updated schedule of like what are they merging from 3.2, 3.3 into 3.1? Is mining?
Mark my words. And Paul's words, because Paul said it first. 3.0 will not come out before Citizen Con.
Nope.
Do not get your hopes up for it to come out anytime before then. If it does, cool, but it's
and it has
probably not.
It has nothing to do with marketing or anything. It has to do with the fact that it needs to go through a lot of testing. And you'll probably
And
see
they haven't started the testing yet. So
So we'll see it sometime in PTU, more than likely before Citizen Con, but we won't see it a live release until at least around, if not after Citizen Con.
PS planets are working. So Sonic Baz asks, what are your predictions for Gamescom?
I think we're going to see a 3.1 preview.
as I said on Captain's Table, what will they show or what do they have to show?
They'll show 3.1.
They're two completely different things.
Yeah. What was your
They
will and
they need to do an actual release date for
They
Squadron
will
42.
show.
3.1?
They will show.
Have to show Squadron 52. Yeah.
They will show Area 18 working. And then that's about it. Honestly, that's my expectation.
Shiver.
They have to show Squadron 42.
Shiver.
Yep.
They won't.
I think they will just probably show 3.0. If we're lucky, maybe something from 3.1, maybe a little bit of mining, an idea of it. I would like to see, and these are the ideas that we've got at the moment for this mechanic and this mechanic. This is an early prototype. Even just a pre-made, pre-rendered video of showing off what the idea is would be something. But sadly, that is not gonna
What would be great is for them to just announce the return of like even once monthly deep dives into like design documents.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I think Jake put it out pretty well in his article, which is like we used to have a lot of really
we used to have
idea.
I pointed that out before too in articles. Yeah. It's
We
funny
used-
because we repeat these articles every year. It's just a different it's a different author. The words don't even change. The words don't even change. Just no one realizes because they come out a year.
We just run a script.
Yeah,
it would be
We
nice
just
to know
run a
if-
script that changes dates and patch numbers.
Yeah, we don't actually do anything. So Eilborn asks, do you think it's time for CIG to start producing in-fiction weekly content? Not full-blown video production, but something more like written vignettes that they put out. No, because they did that, and they did it like 2 years ago, and we actually followed suit. We did inverse fucking newscasts, but it was too fucking early. They stopped everything. Wait until the game's gonna fucking come out. Those were a lot of fucking work, and they were fucking awesome. Pour one out for fucking INN tonight. Pour one out for INN entirely. Like, what happened to that?
Please help me. I'm
Pour one
stuck in
out
a
for
stream
INN.
with 3 drunk colonials. Send help. Please send help.
I'm not drunk yet, Shiver. I haven't even got drunk.
Listen,
Just wait until I actually get drunk on stream.
This many.
I'm not
tears.
drunk!
No, I've seen Eris drunk on stream. Trust me.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
It's bad.
It's to the point where Canadians were.
Did I redeem myself?
Canadian? We're so sorry. We're
Did
so
I redeem
sorry.
myself as resident alcoholic last week, Paul?
I don't know. I'm pretty good.
Did I redeem myself?
Yeah, you did it okay. I think you did it okay. I think the one thing you did do at the end was you spent an hour trying to like talk with people and chat and calm down.
I sobered up. It's what happened. I ran out of alcohol.
I cannot wait for this Canadian cast, by the way, Paul. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna do in 2 weeks.
All right,
yeah,
It'll be
good.
a Canadian cast.
Okay,
Keep going.
so
Keep
NVIDIA 101 asks, with the new hologram stuff we saw on ATV, do you think we'll all be seeing other player characters on those holograms or just for NPCs? Definitely player characters.
Maybe.
Elwook asks, eventually, definitely. Elwook asks, will you help me petition for green overlays on the ship-to-ship comms via Spectrum voice chat? I don't think we have to petition for that. I think those will eventually be customizable.
I think. Yeah. Elite Dangerous, just changing code.
Yeah. Elwook asks, couldn't CIG have released some new missions at another space station this spring to tide us over? They could have, but they don't do that. They don't do halves. They wait till everything's ready.
I will say this: they had a choice to basically do a 2.7, and I said what 2.7 would be basically some sort of like light 3.0, and then do a 3.0 actual release sometime at the end of the year. That was what I saw them doing. Instead, they decided to do a hybrid, which is why it's taken so long. Yeah. They went from being just like, we're just going to produce some small things, but not really change up much, and then to like adding a fuck ton of more things, which complicate things and add problems to the net code and all kind of stuff. And so they kind of merged into this kind of hybrid of those two. So
Win still asks, and I'm going to get one from each of you. Per the recent monthly studio report, 13 plus mission givers are currently in production for the PU. What sort of gameplay and missions are you hoping to see? Shiver.
Oh, come back to me. I'm still thinking about
Jake.
something exciting.
Search and rescue, but
Paul.
actually pulling, like, not what we have now. I'm talking like actually pulling NPCs out of burning ships.
I like it.
I expect an espionage and or like paranoid, schizophrenic, Illuminati, like tinfoil hat wearing mission givers who are like, there'll be people who are like, hey, we need you to do these covert missions to go deal with this, and you're my asset to go and infiltrate this, blah, 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 blah. But then you also have to do this like, they're fucking watching me, man. You need to go to this place and kill the people there because they're fucking watching me and everything I do. And you may uncover some deep plot that has nothing to do with the main mission giver, but whatever. Like, I expect all the range of really serious missions to the most goofy, off the wall, like, I can't even believe I'm fucking doing this shit. But hey, he's got money, that sort of thing.
I want to sign up to be a Marine and sort of do Starship Troopers as close as you can. I want to have enemies everywhere. I want to have them swarming at me, and I want to feel like I'm just in this small, ultra-elite group killing mindless drones as they come to me.
So horde mode.
Glory. Pardon?
Horde mode.
Yeah, I thought you said something completely different.
I expect that entirely, yeah. I expect that as well. Like going to this pirate
Garbage collection.
Escort missions.
Garbage
Everybody
collection.
loves escort missions.
Okay, where are we?
Why does Hellfire always post like 5 billion?
WTFosaurus.
Excited.
WTFosaurus says, I'll offer you 500 Canadian for relay. Serious offer. Dezunner says, what are your thoughts on there being no footage of seamless planet transitions outside of edited demo reels? Not entirely sure what you're talking about there. So
He's right.
But
we haven't seen re-entry outside of the
well, we
the
saw
stuff.
Pupil to Planet.
Yeah, but that was still
That's engine.
There was an
that's
engine.
That's not in client.
It's
Maybe,
not
but
a
the engine
genuine-
creator stuff doing it.
That's still
Seamlessly?
engine though. We're
the
talking
editor
client.
can run in
now.
the engine,
Do I
so
do I
he's not
think it's not
wrong.
the problem is that like that
I think
implies
I
that
think
they
that's
can't
getting
do
really
it.
fucking technical. Like,
Yeah.
that's saying, oh, technically this PS4 Slim is in a PS4 because it's a Slim, not a
Do you remember
PS4.
before
David,
CS 1.6
you're
was
wrong.
a thing, there was this thing called Worldcraft, right? And it was a pig of an editor. You know, you had to sit there. Oh, let's not go into that. But you could just flip a button and suddenly you're in the game as you're editing this thing. The tech
So-
is not new, and it's
So,
the same principle.
my-
here. So
my
you're
thing
not
is-
right. You're not
my-
wrong.
My thing is, they have not shown it to us running in client over the network.
No, they haven't.
No.
But at the same time, that's the implication that it doesn't work isn't right, because the difference between the in-editor and Gray-Headed Gamer did a good job of explaining this, because he's actually worked with CryEngine a lot. And he explained that, like, in CryEngine, which is essentially the same thing as Lumberyard, but with, Lumberyard is obviously slightly different, that there is a ability that you can switch from editor to in person, and it's just like the actual like client. It's just got a lot of more extra stuff added to it.
The caveat for me is that we haven't seen it running over the network.
We haven't.
We haven't. That honestly doesn't.
But the
worry me.
but the implication of it is it doesn't work, which is not true. It's not a good
No.
implication.
But like, I don't think it doesn't work. But the question is not wrong either.
No. But the answer is that more than likely they're not showing us.
I want to see it running. I want to see it running over the network.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see it running over the network. Not gonna lie, that'd be nice. But the implication of because we haven't seen it, it doesn't work. That to me is. I was saying before the show that we complain a lot about CIG here at Relay. Quite frankly, we complain an awful lot. What?
David,
What?
you're gonna say the same thing we've said 5 times this podcast.
No, it's just that there's.
Let's move on.
No, it's my show.
Let's move on. You're outvoted.
Shiver.
Don't drag me into this. I know
It's
who I agree with, but you don't want to hear it, Eris.
Commander Hellfire.
It is an assumption, but the fact remains we don't know.
Commander Hellfire asks, do we know of a game engine do we know of an, oh my god, do we know of a game engine that can look as good and be able to let more players in a server? Thank you.
Game engine
yes.
is not exclusive with graphics.
But that doesn't
fairly
work like
relevant.
that.
Yeah. Graphics are on your computer server.
I-
is,
not-
is
not-
a
not
flawed
quite
question.
either.
it's all over the place.
The problem is that Unreal 4 and
Unreal 4 looks way better than CryEngine.
It does,
And Chris has said that if Unreal 4 was out when he had started the Kickstarter, he would have gone with
He would have
Unreal
used
4
Unreal
instead.
4.
It just wasn't out. They started
The oth-
with CryEngine because it was the only it was the best thing out at the time.
and even what's it called? Unity is actually a really powerful engine that can do online stuff. Look at games like Worlds Adrift, which has a huge number of people who can be on a certain server at the same time. However, both of those also have huge problems with MMOs. Both of them have even early versions of Battlegrounds had massive lag problems with stuff because 100 people was struggling to keep up with 100 people in a map that's a fraction the size of what Star Citizen is. So no matter what you look at it, everything is going to have problems other than a custom built engine, which wasn't in the cards at the same time.
And
So-
here's
What
the
I don't
and
get is
here's
why
the thing
didn't they
too.
use the armor engine? It's already kind
'Cause
of geared
fuck
towards
Arma.
what they're doing.
Jake.
with it.
because it's really clunky. And
Because
it's
fuck
expensive.
Arma. Go, Jake.
Stop thinking about the
Because
game and
fuck
just think
Arma!
about the end.
Go, Jake.
The engine is garbage.
Fuck Arma. Go, Jake.
So
Fair enough,
when I say the word source engine, what do you think of?
Half-Life.
Portal.
Do you think of high fidelity?
Kind of.
No.
Titanfall 2 is made on the Source Engine.
That was going to be my point.
Yeah. So Human Evil asks if we'll ban someone for being a troll.
Nope.
No.
Depends-
Unless they
it
start.
depends the troll.
It depends on the type of trolling. If you start insulting people, then yes, you'll get banned, whether you're a troll or not.
Do
But if
you
you're-
see the rules?
Yeah.
Below the stream.
We will
If you
answer.
break those rules, you will be banned.
Otherwise, we'll basically
Nowhere-
answer any question.
Nowhere on that rule sheet does it say you may not say anything bad about anything ever.
I say a lot of bad things about Star Citizen. Some people have some slightly different opinions. They say other bad things about Star Citizen. The point is that if people have questions, they can come to us because we will answer them as far as we know.
And here's the big
Just everyone be civilized.
Yep.
And that's my biggest problem. And I'm actually going to say this. The people who are detractors of Star Citizen and come into our chat saying negative opinions of Star Citizen have been a lot more civil than a lot of the people who are on the other side of the fence as of late.
It goes both ways.
To be fair, I have in my stream, I've had plenty of people who come on and use homophobic,
of
sexist,
course.
or
You
misogynistic
say
comments.
that and you're fucking
We've-
banned. Fuck
we've-
you.
Yeah, no,
We
people
banned
who are
those
just-
people in our chat today.
or people who come in and say something that they're just trying to be edgy. They're trying to be edgy 13-year-olds and say something crazy, and then no one gets a reaction, so they amp it up to the point where it's offensive, and they get banned. And that happens a lot. I think that's the most experience I've had with bad trolls, and it's bad trolls because good trolls, you don't know they're trolling until they fuck you really, really hard at the end of the whole chain.
I will also say thank you to our mod team because it is sometimes hard to mod and it's difficult to know what to do. I
do want to stress to both our mods and our audience that if someone says a negative opinion, even if it seems belligerent, we have the policy of not timing them out or banning them or deleting their messages, because good discussion is good discussion, and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
So if that happens and you think it was in the wrong, PM me, and I will investigate. Being community manager of Relay, that is my job.
It is. I will also say I like that comment by Desunner. No one ever tries to ban an edgy 46-year-old. I found my place to shine.
No matter which side
I like
of the
it.
extreme fence you're on, some of you got a great sense of humor.
Exactly.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
and we are here to entertain. So, Wildcard Georgie, I am going to skip your question because it's about the Tumbril and the new Tumbril vehicle mentioned by Disco.
It's a thing happening.
It's a thing happening.
It's gonna happen.
We're gonna skip that for now because we've got 3 more questions, and then we can end this crap, and everyone can go and visit Mr. Pub in 2 hours. It is such crap. Thank you.
Soch.
Has anyone found an analyst to evaluate the probability of success / risk in seeing Star Citizen completed? Would love to see something highly professional to give the naysayers and high risk doubting would-be pledgers. That's from Director Gunner. I think the best analysis is, quite frankly, actually come from Nakara at Relay when he does analysis. No, no, straight up. I haven't seen a better analysis.
The card does a really good breakdown of financial.
He is really, really good with numbers, and he has done.
He's been doing it for 4 years.
I'm interrupted. I got mad beef.
What the fuck?
That's going on right now.
Go back here.
What the fuck?
Mad beef. You're
Don't
wrong.
go away!
No, you're all wrong. It's good.
What's good?
Hell no.
Is he muted?
Fucking Dolvac! Fucking Dolvac in your faces! Oh god, I gotta get him out of this Discord.
No, can't stop it.
Fuck! Dolvac!
That's why I muted him. Just mute him.
I love it too much. Okay. Oh,
This is madness.
Oh, that was amazing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm screaming. I seriously, on my level, I look the same audio as everyone else. I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
Okay, I will say this. I will say this. Dolbeck is a terrible person. Who
100%.
no one should watch.
Yep.
And he is the worst mod on the Star Citizen subreddit. And every time you get banned, send him a PM
Dolbeck.
with just dick pics. Just
Yep.
dick pics is PMs. He loves that. He feeds off of that, and in fact, it's how he survives. He's actually a 1,000-year-old demon that survives off of dick pics. So please send him dick pics.
I do
You're
actually,
nastiest.
I do actually want to apologize. Our audio person, Mr. 6Fs in Caps, actually literally today brought up a new audio interface for me. It's actually right here. It's literally right here. I can show it on stream as not being attached to my computer because it will not install the drivers, and I'm having significant problems. I actually had to plug in my old audio interface again, and I'm trying to troubleshoot. And after this stream, I am very probably going to reformat my entire fucking computer because it's pissing me the fuck off. So sorry about the audio.
I'm this close to going back to Windows 7. Creators Update comes out, screws my fucking keyboard out, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, Creators Update fixes
By the way,
webcam freezing issues." No, fucking doesn't. Bullshit. Sort your shit out, Microsoft.
The issue is if you upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10, because then you get fucked.
But yeah, sorry.
Shit.
Director Gunner, take a look at some of Nakara's articles on Relay. He does a really, really good analysis of all of the fun. Like, he's tracked basically every single sale to date, tracked the money, tracked the amount of cost of an average, employee at the server, and kept it in track, and analyzed how much money Star Citizen probably has, and all of the works. He's done everything. He really knows where the project is and where it's going. And he'll be on next week, I believe. I haven't actually asked him, but I'm going to tell him, so he's going to be on next week.
Oh, you just been voluntold there, buddy. You've been voluntold.
That's what happens around here at Relay. But yeah,
You got to do the wave, dude. Commander Hellfire has subscribed with our thanks.
Commander Hell,
We did the wave!
thank you. The wave. The wave. That's not a wave, Jake. That's a seizure.
He's just doing the burning lean. That's all he's doing. He's doing the burning lean.
Actually, Commander Hellfire has a very good question. Jake, Relay emotes.
Hey,
We've all been on vacation.
You know an
I'm
artist.
sorry.
You should get
When
them
you
in touch.
answer the next motherfucking question, please.
Yeah. Okay.
You want me to
So,
start?
Emotes are
We
coming.
have a fucking meeting
Send
to go
your
to 10
artists
minutes
to
ago.
C. Robert 68 says, "Watch what you say, or it might be frozen out completely. Let it go. Let it go."
Oh.
Are you Patrick Warburton singing Frozen songs right now?
Go. Let it go.
Oh God, what have I done?
Your
Can't
patrons
hold it back
say,
anymore.
have you forgotten something for a while? Yes,
Yes!
we have.
My sanity.
We're working on it. We are working on it. Soon you will see.
Everybody's
Relay
been
emotes.
gone for weeks.
Yeah, I was gone for 2 weeks, so I'm sorry. We're gonna start getting this on. I'm also going. I think we've got a guest on next week, as well as Shiver and Nakara. The week after that, hey, Paul, is the week after next week the Canadian week?
Yes.
So we should have a Canadian relay with you as well. So we'll have Nakara, CS, and you on relay if you're okay with that on the station.
I'm okay.
Okay.
That's fine. But I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to America the fuck out of this.
I will actually just replace your video with a picture of a Canadian moose. So don't mess with me, bro. Don't mess with me. So next week we have a guest, Shiver, me, Nakara, if he agrees, a guest. The week after that, we've got me, Nakara, he's forced into it. CS, he's forced into it. And Paul, he agreed. The week after that, I'm probably going to try and get some CIG people on. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what we're doing or who we are
Alabama
or where we
flag?
are. That's the Alabama. It's a fucking
Mississippi.
Confederate
Mississippi
fucking
I'm sorry.
flag.
It's Mississippi's flag. This is not racist. This is an actual in-use flag by one of your states.
Yes,
this
it
is
is.
fine.
Thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you all so much for listening. Tune in next week. We'll probably have way more complaints and way more accolades to leap upon CIG, because that is what we do here at the Relay.
Shout out to Michael!
Check out Mr. Paul, 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. Twitch.tv/TheAstroPub. Visit TheAstroPub. It's an all-Brit invasion. Go there. Overwhelm Paul. Be